All members of kingdom Animalia need oxygen in order to produce ATP. Cellular respiration also produces carbon dioxide. We need to take in oxygen into our body and breathe out carbon dioxide. Breathing is compulsory. That is why our bodies need a respiratory system. The process of breathing in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide is called respiration. Animals have various ways of taking up oxygen. For instance, arthropods and other small animals consume oxygen through their skin in a process called simple diffusion. Amphibians can also breathe through their skin, and fish breathe through gills. Humans and all other mammals breathe with lungs. The respiratory system moves air through the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and bronchus to the alveoli where the gas exchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs. Nares are the openings to the nose. The nasal cavity is lined with cilia, mucous membranes, and blood capillaries. The air is filtered by cilia, moistened by mucous membranes, and warmed by the blood. Air moves into the pharynx or throat, common passageway for food and air. Air continues on to the larynx. The epiglottis is a flap of tissue in front of the larynx. It closes off the larynx when swallowing to prevent food from entering. The larynx or voice box contains the vocal folds. The trachea or windpipe connects the larynx to the bronchial tree. The cartilage rings of the trachea prevent the trachea from collapsing. Lungs are spongy tissue with alveoli and blood capillaries. Breathing occurs because of the expansion and contraction of the lungs. The bronchi carrying the air subdivide into smaller branches called bronchioles. At the end of each bronchiole are the alveolar sacs. The alveolar sacs are surrounded by blood capillaries and contain millions of single-layer alveoli cells where the gas exchange takes place. Oxygenated air goes from the nose to the pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, and alveoli. By the process of diffusion, oxygen in the air moves from the alveoli to the capillaries. Carbon dioxide then moves from the capillaries to the alveoli and is exhaled. This process is called respiration.
Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in Malaysia for both men and women. Your lungs are two spongy organs in your chest. The left lung is divided into two lobes or sections, and the right lung has three lobes. When you breathe in, air enters your nose or mouth and passes into your trachea or windpipe. At the carina, the trachea divides into two bronchi, then branches into smaller bronchioles. The bronchioles end in tiny air sacs or alveoli. Here, the oxygen in the air you inhale passes into the bloodstream, and carbon dioxide from your body passes out of the bloodstream. The carbon dioxide is expelled from your body when you exhale. Your lungs are encased by pleura, a thin membrane that protects them and helps them slide back and forth as you breathe in and out. Underneath your lungs is a diaphragm, a smooth, thin muscle that helps your lungs expand and contract as you breathe. Your lungs are connected to small collections of immune system cells called lymph nodes by way of lymphatic vessels. You have groups of these lymph nodes in your lungs above your collarbones and behind your breastbone, as well as in other parts of your body. The lymphatic vessels carry bacteria, cancer cells, and other unhealthy material away from your lungs and other organs in a clear fluid called lymph. Lymph nodes filter this material out of the lymph. Lung cancers commonly start in the bronchi, but they can also begin in the trachea, bronchioles, or alveoli.
Early lung cancer typically does not cause symptoms. As the cancer grows, you may experience symptoms such as cough that gets worse or does not go away, shortness of breath, chest pain, and wheezing. Other symptoms of lung cancer include coughing up blood, hoarseness, weight loss without trying, and frequent lung infections such as pneumonia. Other health problems may cause these symptoms. You should see your doctor if you have any symptoms concerned about.
Lung cancer prevention includes actions you can take to lower your chance of developing cancer. The most important thing you can do to prevent lung cancer is to not start smoking or to quit smoking if you do. Avoid breathing in other people's smoke. Test your home for radon, a known carcinogen or cancer-causing agent. Avoid exposure to cancer-causing chemicals at work. Maintain a healthy weight, because being overweight can cause the body to circulate higher levels of certain hormones that can stimulate cancer growth. Eat a diet full of fruits and vegetables, which are packed with substances that can help reduce your risk of cancer and help control your weight. Exercise regularly, which will help you control your weight and reduce your risk due to its positive influence on your hormone levels and immune system. Be sure to talk to your doctor about ways to reduce your risk of lung cancer.
Treatment options for cancer include local therapy, such as surgery and radiation therapy, and systemic therapies such as chemotherapy and targeted therapy. You may receive one or a combination of these treatments. There are several surgical options depending on the type and stage of the cancer. During a wedge resection or segmenectomy, the tumor and a small margin of a healthy tissue are removed. In a lobectomy or sleeve lobectomy, one lobe of a lung is removed. During a pneumonectomy, the surgeon removes the entire lung. In a sleeve resection, a diseased section of a large airway is removed, and the healthy ends are reattached. During any of these procedures, your surgeon may remove lymph to check them for signs of cancer. Radiation therapy or radiotherapy is a local treatment that uses high-energy rays to kill or shrink cancer cells to relieve symptoms. External beam radiation therapy is directed at a cancer's location from a machine outside your body. Brachytherapy or internal radiation therapy, often in the form of pellets, is most commonly used to help relieve blockage of a large airways by cancer. Chemotherapy is a systemic treatment that uses drugs to stop the growth of the cancer cells by either killing them or inhibiting their cell division. Once the drugs enter the bloodstream, they can travel and reach cancer cells throughout the body. Targeted therapies are newer cancer treatments that work by focusing on specific genetic abnormalities of cancer cells. One targeted therapy, bevacizumab, starts the tumor by stopping it from creating a new blood supply. Another targeted therapy, erlotinib, stops tumor growth by blocking the chemicals that signal the cancer cells to grow and
Every time you smoke a cigarette, toxic gases pass into your lungs, then into your bloodstream, where they spread to every organ in your body. A cigarette is made using the tobacco leaf, which contains nicotine and a variety of other compounds. As the tobacco and compounds burn, they release thousands of dangerous chemicals, including over 40 known to cause cancer. Cigarette smoke contains the poisonous gases carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxide as well as trace amounts of cancer-causing radioactive particles. All forms of tobacco are dangerous, including cigars, pipes, and smokeless tobacco such as chewing tobacco and snuff. Nicotine is an addictive chemical in tobacco. After you inhale tobacco smoke, nicotine flows through the bloodstream to your brain, where it induces a pleasurable feeling. When you repeatedly expose your brain to nicotine, it becomes desensitized, making you crave more and more nicotine just to feel normal. Smoking causes death. People who smoke typically die at an earlier age than non-smokers. In fact, 1 of every 5 deaths in the United States is linked to cigarette smoking. If you smoke, your risk of major health problems increases dramatically, including heart disease, heart attack, stroke, lung cancer, and death from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Smoking causes cardiovascular disease. When nicotine flows through your adrenal glands, it stimulates the release of epinephrine, a hormone that raises your blood pressure. In addition, nicotine and carbon monoxide can damage the lining of the inner walls in your arteries. Fatty deposits called plaque can build up at these injury sites and become large enough to narrow the arteries and severely reduce blood flow, resulting in a condition called atherosclerosis. In coronary artery disease, atherosclerosis narrows the arteries that supply the heart, which reduces the supply of oxygen to your heart muscle, increasing your risk for a heart attack. Smoking also raises your risk for blood clots because it causes platelets in your blood to clump together. Smoking increases your risk for peripheral vascular disease, in which atherosclerotic plaques block the large arteries in your arms and legs. Smoking can also cause an abdominal aortic aneurysm, which is a swelling or weakening of your aorta where it runs through your abdomen. Smoking damages 2 main parts of your lungs: your airways, also called bronchial tubes, and small air sacs called alveoli. With each breath, air travels down your windpipe called a trachea and enters your lungs through your bronchial tubes. Air then moves into thousands of tiny alveoli, where oxygen from the air moves into your bloodstream, and the waste product carbon dioxide moves out of your bloodstream. Tiny hair-like projections called cilia line your bronchial tubes and sweep harmful substances out of your lungs. Cigarette smoke irritates the lining of your bronchial tubes, causing them to swell and make mucus. Cigarette smoke also slows the movement of your cilia, causing some of the smoke and mucus to stay in your lungs. While you are sleeping, some of the cilia recover and start pushing more pollutant and mucus out of your lungs. When you wake up, your body attempts to expel this material by coughing repeatedly, a condition known as smoker's cough. Over time, chronic bronchitis develops as your cilia stop working, your airways become clogged with scars and mucus, and breathing becomes difficult. Your lungs are now more vulnerable to further disease. Cigarette smoke also damages your alveoli, making it harder for oxygen and carbon dioxide to exchange with your blood. Over time, so little oxygen can reach your blood that you may develop emphysema, a condition in which you must gasp for every breath and wear an oxygen tube under your nose in order to breathe. Chronic bronchitis and emphysema are collectively called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. COPD is a gradual loss of the ability to breathe for which there is no cure. Cigarette smoke contains at least 40 cancer-causing substances called carcinogens, including cyanide, formaldehyde, benzene, and ammonia. In your body, healthy cells grow, make new cells, then die. Genetic materials inside each cell, called DNA, directs this process. If you smoke, toxic chemicals can damage the DNA in your healthy cells. As a result, your damaged cells create new unhealthy cells, which grow out of control and may spread to other parts of your body. The most common cancer in the world is lung cancer, with over 1 million new cases diagnosed every year. Harmful chemicals in cigarettes can cause cancer in other parts of your body, such as in the blood and bone marrow, mouth, larynx, throat, esophagus, stomach, pancreas, kidney, bladder, uterus, and cervix. Smoking can cause infertility in both man and woman. If a woman is pregnant and smokes during pregnancy, she exposes her baby to the cigarette's poisonous chemicals, causing a greater risk of low birth rate, miscarriage, preterm delivery, stillbirth, infant death, and sudden infant death syndrome. Smoking is also dangerous if a mother is breastfeeding. Nicotine passes to the baby through breast milk and can cause restlessness, rapid heartbeat, vomiting, interrupted sleep, or diarrhea. Other health effects of smoking include low bone density and increased risk for hip fracture among women, gum disease often leading to teeth loss and surgery, immune system dysfunction and delayed wound healing, and sexual impotence in men.
I wonder if these guys are actually going to talk to us.
Hey, I think that's it.
Can I help you?
Yeah, we're just wondering, why don't you tell people there's arsenic in cigarette smoke?
And why don't you?
All just focus on the positive, 'cause positive's the way you ought to be. Why don't we all stop being so derogative to the big tobacco companies?
We asked, is nicotine addictive?
We told you that it's not.
Okay, then maybe everyone just likes it a whole lot. So why destroy the research? Do you think that they're afraid?
No, we're just getting ready for a ticker tape parade. Oh, let's try to focus on the positive. Sure, they may kill 4 million folks a year, but let's stay focused on the positive. There's plenty of us still here. So what if we remove a lung? You shouldn't be depressed.
It's really for the best.
It's something off your chest.
And yes, we know tobacco causes cancer of the bladder.
It doesn't really matter. They make diapers for adults.
His tumor was malignant.
But look, he's not indignant. He knows.
You've gotta just stay focused on the positive.
Every 8 seconds a smoker dies. It's become routine.
But let's stay focused on the positive.
Those 7 seconds in between.
Know what I mean?
We'll just stay focused on the positive.
They're not marketing to teens. They're reaching out to our youth.
So let's all focus on the positive. We're positive, positive. That's the truth.
with someone?
My mother.
Me too.
Jangan abang.
Son, Mami kêu nè, hả? Giờ mấy chín nữa.
Shot.
It's okay. Hả?
He says she loves you.
பசிக்குதா? சாப்பாடு கொண்டாந்துருக்கேன். சாப்பிட்றீங்களா?
எல்லாமே முடிஞ்சு. சாப்பாடு.
ஆமா. ஆனா நீங்க உயிரோடு இருக்கிறீங்களா? நாம அதிர்ஷ்டக்காரங்க.
Mom.
Don't break my heart.
พี่ขอไฟหน่อย ขอไฟหน่อย พี่ขอไฟหน่อย
หนูดูดเองจริงเหรอ
ไม่ได้แล้วมั้งอายุยังน้อยอยู่
เป็นมะเร็งเนี่ยต้องไปเจาะคอไม่กลัวหมอผ่าตัดแล้วน้อง
บุหรี่มันมียาพิษอยู่นะ
มันทำให้หน้าเหี่ยวด้วยนะ
สูบบุหรี่แล้วก็ตายเร็วไม่อยากอยู่เล่นนานๆหรอ
มันไม่ดีรู้เปล่า สูบแล้วเป็นทั้งมะเร็งปอดถุงลมโป่งพอง
ไม่ดีแล้วพี่ดูดทำไมล่ะคะ
ซึ่งโฆษณาชิ้นนี้นะคะต้องบอกว่าหลายคนดูบอกว่าโดนใจ
It became an instant hit, and some industry insiders are saying it's the best anti-smoking ad ever made.
every time that we launch, particularly the media, the TV, the ads, the number of calls are hiding up. Particularly the last one that everyone know worldwide, it's increased 40% of number of calls.